Welcome to 9394, a music podcast with me, Travis. I'm happy to have you here. Today on the show, we are getting into an album that people were listening to in 93 and 94, but wasn't necessarily released in that year. And the album, of course, is Puzzle from 1992 by the band Dada. I've got my buddy Dave, my childhood friend, Dave Horning, back on the show. Thrilled to have him. Got to see him in person recently. He was in town to celebrate his parents' 50th wedding anniversary. Wow, that's awesome. Shout out to them. And it was really nice to be invited to that party and to get to see him and his wife and his kids from afar. They were kind of like running around doing stuff. Didn't actually really get to meet them. But anyway, so here is me and Dave talking about this album that we've both been listening to for a long time. Check it out. Hello.
Nice.
We did it. We've achieved volume. We've achieved noise.
Touch each other's earlobe or ear holes with
auditorily.
Sweet vibrations.
We made it happen. There was a moment there. But yeah, hi Dave. Good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? Good morning.
All right. Yeah. Coffee time.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to Disneyland. Shot my gun into the night. I'm going to Disneyland. Oh, I just saw a good man die. I'm going to Disneyland. Come on, I'm going to
Hey. Well, welcome back to 93-94. This is your fourth appearance?
I think fourth, yeah. It's good to be back.
Let's see, you did Ween, you did Primus, you did Tool. Yeah, so this is your fourth. Yeah, it's good to have you back. It's been a while.
Yeah, busy times. Well, also, we kind of had a failure to launch with another album that we had talked about doing.
We did?
Yeah.
Talking about Angel Dust?
Oh, no. Still looking forward to that one.
What are you talking about?
I had a dream that your brother did it without me, and I was pissed at you guys.
No, that's an episode forthcoming. Don't worry.
No, the Aphex Twin one.
Oh, right. We were going to do the ambient works, and for even you to say that it was just, too
esoteric? Is that a good word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm grateful not to have had to spend time with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot to analyze. Either you like it or you don't. You move your body to it or you don't, or it makes you feel something or you don't. It's a much more personal experience with that type of music without, lyrics to guide you, I think.
As opposed to the straightforward rock album that we're doing today. What are we doing today, Dave?
We are doing Dada's Puzzle from 1992.
Yeah, we're getting outside of 93, 94 a little bit. Definitely an album I was listening to a lot in 1993 and 92.
Oh yeah, I most definitely did not get into this. It came out in September of 92, so there's no way I wasn't cool enough to be on to a band before it had been out for a while, so.
Well, I imagine that like me, you got into it because you heard the single Disneyland, am I right?
probably got into it because of you and your brother, more than likely. It was that time that we were like skateboarding constantly in your driveway, and like all of the music that I listened to at the time was music that you guys were listening to. So like They Might Be Giants and Faith No More and Paw and all of that type of stuff. That's all stuff that I got exposed to from you guys and hanging out with you guys.
Well, I got into it because 89X, the local like alternative radio station coming out of Windsor, they played Disneyland pretty regularly. And so I got the cassette, I am pretty sure, and one of the classic like Columbia House deals. I think it may have been like a family trip up to whatever, like Record Town or Tape World or, you know, Musicville or whatever the fuck, you know,
Discs and tapes.
Discs and tapes. It could have been, well, you know, actually Discs and Tapes in Brighton was a place that I would go more like with friends. We just like go up there and spend hours, as opposed to like Tower Records or something being like taken up there, like to Borders Books by the fam, and like having mom be like, okay, you can pick one cassette, you know.
I met ICP in Discs and Tape once.
I know. They asked if you wanted their autograph and you said no.
yeah. That was to buy Primus's Tales from the Punch Bowl. I skipped school for that. It was great.
Funny. Well, I'm glad that we could have gotten you into Dada. I feel like they're a band that really straddled the early 90s and like mid 90s sound, because like they kind of make me think of like Mother Love Bone almost, or like bands that were like sort of rock and roll, but also like kind of had a foot in the alternative world too. So they kind of were able to successfully make that crossover in that like crucial 91 to 92 era.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Right, there's a lot more straightforward rock on this than a lot of the alternative stuff at the time.
Definitely stuff that wouldn't piss your parents off so much if they heard you listening to it.
Sure.
It's definitely got some traditional sounds to it, comparatively, like rock-wise.
Yeah, they're a three-piece, and they're definitely drawing from like classic rock, blues rock.
Oh, a lot of blues, yeah. I've noticed that getting reacquainted with this album, it's not something that I've like regularly listened to throughout the past 20 plus years, 30 years. When it comes out, I don't turn it off when it's like, you know, randoming through all my stuff. But yeah, I've been like getting much more reacquainted with it. And the month since we decided to do this, it's been pretty regularly rotating. And yeah, I picked up on so much more blues than I realized back in the day.
Same. Yeah, like I'm like, these guys are like Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of fans. Like it's, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I did the same thing. I had not listened to this album in its entirety in a really long time, like a long, long time. But I'll tell you what, as soon as I put it on, I'm like, shit, I still know almost all the words. Like I can still sing along with it really, really well, even though it's been at least 10, 20 years since I've listened to it, probably. So in revisiting it, here's the fun part. What did you decide is your favorite track on this album?
Man, I was waffling. Like way back in the day, Timothy was my favorite song. I loved it. The storytelling of it, all of the components of, you know, like the strings and just like the swing movement.
Billy Green grabs his lunch from the windowsill. I left mine home. How about a bite of your sandwich, Bill? A friend in need is a friend indeed. The teacher asks, oh, where are your parents, Tim? It's been 5 months and I see no sign of them. My dad's not here, he flew back to Mars. My mom is a movie star.
It was like the heartbreaking story in it. You know, it was just a well-told story, and I just loved the whole composition.
Yeah, that was Judd's favorite too, and it definitely stands out as a different kind of song on the rest of the album with those strings and stuff. They're swinging big on that song, I think, compared to the rest of the album. Not like it's small potatoes the rest of the album, but they're definitely like, they're going for it with that song.
So that traditionally, if before I got reacquainted, you would just ask me, gun to your head, you know, like, what is it? I'd say that one, right?
Yeah.
But now having listened to it more, I think the song Surround has become my favorite.
There's a picture on my wall.
just awesome, man. The layers of harmony and vocal harmony, and how their vocal harmony melds in with the guitar, and it's just got those swells of crescendos and decrescendos with everything. It's just, man, that is such a well put together song. It is so good.
And that drum beat too, like that driving drums to it, is really cool. It's got like this airy feel to it. It's definitely one that I considered as well to be my favorite. I'm glad you chose it because it's a really, really good song. It's something that didn't really stand out in my memory before I sat down to put the album back on. So it's one I consider as the best song on the album. It's one I consider for my underrated because, yeah, it's a really good song, but it just kind of slipped past my radar.
Yeah.
Surround me. Surround me. And you surround me. And you surround
I think Surround also really demonstrates their abilities, as you kind of were getting at, to sing together, because there's no real one singer of this band. These guys are co-harmony singers, right?
Yeah, I think Gurley is like the primary one, though. I think
It seems like
yeah.
it. What's his name? Mike Gurley?
This is Dude Harmony, the album.
Yeah.
I don't know too terribly much about this band. This is a departure from the other three bands that I've done because I've got like intimate knowledge of like the histories and backgrounds of all the people in all the bands I've done before. And I really know virtually nothing about this band other than I love the two albums that I got into by them and discovered that there were more due to this.
Yeah, apparently they've been putting out some other stuff. I was unaware of that. I remember you got American Highway Flower. I did too, but I ended up selling it to discs and tapes, actually. But I remember you being really into that one, and I was kind of underwhelmed by it. But also, by the time that came out, I was kind of moving towards heavier genres of music. So I imagine if I revisited it now, I'd feel differently. But yeah, as far as my favorite song on this album, I did a kind of similar thing where I was weighing, a bunch of different songs on here. And I considered Disneyland, like if I had been asked like you, gun to my head before revisiting the album, I probably would have been like, oh, the single, the one that got me into it. But listening to it over the last month or so, I was like, shit, there's actually quite a few songs on here that are a lot better than that. And I was really torn, but I guess if I really have to choose one, I'm going to go with the last song. I'm going to go with Moon.
before the moon died, you realized the flowers that you picked, you kept locked away. Never to be seen, but naked lovers' eyes. The night before the moon died, you realized the night before the moon died, you had your chance to make it right. You never did.
Oh yeah, that one caught me. That was always just kind of like for me as a finisher, I didn't really love it, just the way it started out all slow.
Mm-hmm.
But then revisiting, for sure, that propelled itself up towards the top of my list. It was back in the day, it was like dragging to me in the beginning, but then I love that for that. It's like a good setup. It's like good first act of a movie that leads you to the greatness of the end of it. It's just really jammy. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and bluesy as hell.
It's bluesy as hell, but it's also like super emotional and raw.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I probably could have I mean, I certainly considered it to be my underrated track too, because I did the same thing. Like growing up, I would sometimes just turn the album off even before it got to that, you know?
Yeah.
It just didn't really hit me the same way back then. But listening to it recently, I'm like, shit, like in this genre of music in particular, there's a lot of songs, a lot of sad breakup songs about the guy who's sad that his girl left him. And it's kind of nice to have a song where it's like the other way around. Like, I tried, I did everything I could to hold this together, and you just didn't. And here we are.
Yeah.
So I like the perspective on it. I like the rawness of his voice. What it builds up to, extremely powerful, I think. It's just really, really good song that kind of slipped by my attention. Yeah.
You never did. No, 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 no. You never did. No, 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 no. You never did. Goodbye. No, 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 no. Sing it around now, girl. No, 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 no. Seen it all before. No, 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 no. Life's been blown away. No, 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 no. You finally hit the ground. No, 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 no. Nothing left for you. No, no. Goodbye, goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of, what, 3 breakup songs on this album?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Dim and Merry Sunshine Rain. They're all,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, those are all breakup songs.
Songs, yeah. And you definitely got to also get like the feel on this album. There's 2 singers. I feel like there's 2 songwriters too, because you have some stuff that's a lot more grounded in sentiment, like Moon, and then you have other stuff that seems like pure fantasy, like
Darina?
Here Today, Gone Tomorrow,
Yeah,
Darina, Disneyland. Like a lot of the songs are just like some sort of weird narrative about someone doing some stuff.
Posters.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Posters, easily for me, the worst song on this album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She was 17 going on 50. I'm not quite sure exactly what that means, but her speaker screams Sinatra and the zombies, and her hair hung red around her red blue jeans. She said she was Jim Morrison incarnate, a psychic on La Brea told her so. She asked me if I ever read Lolita. She took my hand and led me to a door, and she said, let's go to my room, I'll show you my posters.
You agree?
Let's go.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's either that or Dog, because they're like the same song.
I think Dog has a lot more going for it. I actually consider that to be my favorite because its content
Oh yeah, the heart.
makes up for it. Yeah, but the lyrical content of Posters combined with that rollicking kind of like the lesser Jay Giles, not like the good Jay Giles, but the lesser Jay Giles kind of feel to it, along with, you know, any rock song about fucking a 17-year-old girl is gross. It's gross.
Yeah, and just, man, musically, I don't love it either. At the end, where they're all that falsetto, like wailing at the end is, it's
So rock and roll. It's like too rock and roll.
but it's not, but it's like it's not great. You know, it's no.
Yeah, it's not rock and roll like Guns N' Roses rock and roll. It's rock and roll like Nelson.
It's like it's a pantomime of what they've heard.
It's like bar band rock and roll. It's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't skip it. I do kind of tap my foot to it because it's, you know, they're certainly talented musicians. But for me, I did not have any trouble identifying the least good song on this album because Posters is it for multiple reasons, in my opinion.
I concur. Yeah, I didn't write anything down. I didn't take any notes to this. I just listened to it a lot, and I was hoping it would come to me. So, as soon as you said it, like, I do have my music player up with just songs that I have favorites that I want to come up more often in my stuff. And you can't put anti-favorites there, so I have no way of marking that one.
I see. So that's the one that doesn't appear in your list. That makes sense.
Correct.
I mean, it's a strong album, but I think every album typically has at least one point that's a dip, and it's a interesting spot for it to be because it's the first side. Because I still have the cassette. I didn't bring it with me. It's in the other room. But it's first song on side B, which kind of like seems like a natural spot for it to be. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah,
buried in the middle of the album.
I thought you were going to say it was like the closer for side A, and I'm like, ooh, that would be a bad choice.
Well, I mean, having it be the opener for side B is not exactly burying it, I guess, either. But still, like, it makes sense, I guess, because the closer for side A is Here Today, Gone Tomorrow, which is a very different feel, even though it's still, I think, lesser on the album.
It's lesser, but I still think it's a whole lot of fun. I think Here Today, Gone Tomorrow is a really fun song. I mean, it's a good storytelling. Like you said, it's pure fantasy, obviously. He's not like... I doubt he really partied with Hef and like...
Or stole his neighbor's car. Yeah. Or, you know, none of that shit happened. But it's a fun fantasy, like a California fantasy, which that's like a whole genre of song in of itself. Character does stuff in California.
Let's digress on this for a second.
Okay.
Or, I mean, diverge here. I've got this whole theory about these guys, and I know nothing about them. All right, I think these guys were like Midwesterners that moved to California, chasing the California dream. All of the whole album. I think they like, you know, broke up with their high school sweethearts or whatever. That probably extended through their moving to California, or that had part of that happening.
They're actually from California.
Oh, they are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the whole going to Disneyland and the whole pack of no-dos and a bundle of nerves seems like, well, I guess you could drive overnight through California. It's a huge state. So. Well,
I mean, so again, and this is just Wikipedia. They formed in LA. It doesn't say where they're from. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, like, how many people do we know that moved to LA and, like, tried to chase the dream, right? But this is the whole theory I've built up in my head about this band, is that there's some Midwesterners. Maybe one of them lived there. Maybe the drummer lived there. I don't know. But they all got together. They started this band. They were jamming, and they living in SoCal. These are the songs that they come up with, being there for a couple of years, getting jaded from the California dream scene, you know? Yeah,
or they're doing like Tom Waits did, because Tom Waits is from California, and he classically did Going Out West, which is a parody of, you know, the I'm going to go out west and find my dreams and achieve all this fame. So it could be kind of in that vein too, because again, there's like a, you know, like that Soul Coughing song, Screenwriter's Blues, like there's a whole thing of that.
Yeah,
like the California song about the dude gonna go make it. So it could just be a play on that, or it could be exactly like you say. Either way, it is a pretty decent song. What about your underrated track on this album then? Is that your underrated track?
Well, I heard a band in recent history at an event that my wife was working at in the craft beverage industry. There was a band and they played Darina.
That's pretty cool.
This was in, like, I say recent history. This is probably like 9 years ago now.
Okay.
But to hear even 9 years ago,
sure,
a band out in a public space playing a cover of Darina,
was awesome.
Cool as hell, man. And I loved it. I went and I was like, hey, yeah, wow, that was one of my favorite albums back when I was, you know, whatever. And we bonded over that. But yeah, man, that song is absolutely underrated, especially if a band in Prescott, Arizona in 2016 or 17 would be playing that song.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's got some longevity. So I'd probably, if it didn't get any radio play, which I don't think it did get radio play, that would definitely be one of the most underrated. And also that's a nice fun story too, a dude sitting there talking to his imaginary girlfriend at a bar. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool song. It's really smooth. It's really kind of bluesy, but not like in an obnoxious way. But it's also, there's a lot of changes in like the way that song flows. It's kind of a surprising structure, like as a band, Dada can really get comfortable in conventionality, but that is a song that really demonstrates that they can get kind of funky and kind of weird with the structuring of these songs. And again, that was one like right away when I put it on, I was like, oh yeah, I still know every word to Doreen.
Yeah, and it's a fun opener, and like for all those reasons that you said, it's a really curious, good opener, and it makes you want more too, on the album, because it's got all those elements. It's like, oh wait, do they delve into all of these themes and feelings further as they go? So yeah, it's a good opener for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. For my underrated, I went with a song that you mentioned earlier, which was Dim. I feel like Dim should have been a single. I don't really remember listening to it back in the day that much. I don't remember it being one that stuck out to me. But listening to it now, I'm like, oh man, this feels like in 92, 93, this should have been popping. This was like Gin Blossoms. Like this would have fit right in with like the Wallflowers and a lot of the like, Counting Crows, a lot of that stuff that was popular right about that time. If that song had been a single at all, I feel like it could have done really well. I feel like it would have been a song that maybe could have got a lot more attention for that band that I think that they deserved that they didn't really get.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe something holding it back might have been some of those vocals. He does go a little bit haywire with the falsetto rocking out on Dim, if I recall.
I mean, yeah, he kind of strains himself towards the end, like that kind of classic rock and roll voice thing, but I think it works for the song. I like the lyrics. It's also kind of basic and relatable to like anybody, at the same time. So I feel like it really, sure. Yeah, I feel like it would have been a good single. I feel like it could have gotten them further, and maybe it was. I just don't know. But to my knowledge, I think the only single from the album was Disneyland.
Yeah, I think thinking about Dim and just kind of like running it through my head right now, I think you might be able to also categorize that one right along in with the breakup songs, because it does seem like this could at least be, it's not directly talking about a girl or a relationship or whatever, but
that's what it seems like it's about. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like life was great, you're gone, now it's not. That's pretty clear. But it's got that Smith saying going on where it's a pretty upbeat song despite its bummer lyrics, which I always like that.
For sure. Yeah, right next to it, I think my other consideration for underrated was Who You Are. It's another one of my favorite Star ones there. I just love like the buttery smoothness of like the low harmonies instead of the high stuff when he's like going into his low voice instead of his high, or the high harmonies. That was my other consideration, was Who You Are, because it's just got that like driving down the street at night with the windows down, like it's just like slow driving. I like that one a lot too.
Well, and it's funky as fuck. Like it's the funkiest song. Like all like I don't know if it's a whammy bar or flans. I don't know gear well enough to know exactly what's making that guitar noise.
Some wah going on.
A little wah wah. Yeah, it's very funky, but not in a way that it's annoying. Not overly dumb. I imagine you never got a chance to see them live either.
No, definitely not.
You know what we did, though, or possibly could have? I realized when researching a little bit for this episode, these motherfuckers went on tour last year. They were on tour in 2024.
Yeah, dude.
I have no idea.
Same. I was Googling around. I'm like, what the hell? I know Gurley, the lead guitar and vocalist, he's had some health problems that have been preventing him from playing, so I guess it was a short tour. Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yeah, I saw that he's got carpal tunnel syndrome, which gives me the opportunity to amend something that I said on my Sea and Cake episode that I felt dumb about, because the bass player, my favorite bass player of all time from Sea and Cake, Eric Claridge, he quit because of carpal tunnel, and I have carpal tunnel, and I had gotten like carpal tunnel release surgery when I had done the Sea and Cake episode, so I was partly like, I can't imagine why, you didn't just get the surgery and go back to playing, but like now that the surgery is like, I've recovered from the surgery, I'm like, oh, this is as good as it's going to get. I would not be able to thump on the bass or do a lot of guitar stuff the way I used to. Like, it's a bigger deal than I guess I realized, even though I have it. So I can see where that would affect his playing for sure.
Dude, it's 2025. Where are our robot hands? We need come on. We're supposed to have robot hands by now. And like,
yeah, I would settle for flying cars, or at least, you know what? Not even flying cars. I just want high-speed rail. Just give me some maglev rail and I'll be happy.
I also want fascism to be a distant figment of the past too, but
what? Yeah, number one on my list if we're making
ruminating here.
If we're wishing for things. Yeah, so it's a shame we never got to see him live, but maybe if they played in 2024, maybe there's a chance that they might come around again. I'll have to pay closer attention.
Put a Google alert up, let the AI know you need to know.
I need to know what Dada is doing. All right, so at the end of my episodes, I typically kind of, segue into other stuff, and I usually, especially lately, will do some form of trivia, or I'll like ask, what would you rather watch or eat or, listen to or whatever. But I got a different one for you today. I'm going to hit you with a heavy topic, one that I feel like you can handle, and actually one that we've discussed before, but never on any sort of podcast or anything.
Good thing I just got my second cup of coffee.
Yeah. Let's get existential a little bit. Because I was thinking a lot about the song Dog, and it made me want to ask you, what do you think happens after we die? Do you believe in reincarnation at all?
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yep. Just a little light question for your morning coffee.
I have no idea, but...
Good. No one does, right?
Yeah, no one does. And I think it's absolutely, completely just like self-centered to say that you know anything.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking at a house of worship right over here. So, but I have my suppositions, and I think that there is something after. Oh man, there's this whole thing we need like a joint with these coffees. But yeah, just something about vast energy networks, positivity, negativity. It goes each way, and you can go wherever. I don't know if it's reincarnation or whatever, but I don't think it ends.
Yeah. Okay. So you've evolved in your thinking then. 'Cause I remember like in our early 20s, you talked about us being basically like mud, and like we lift our head up out of the mud, then we put our head back down in the mud, and that's like it for existence.
Oh, that was just me quoting Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh, that's Vonnegut?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lucky me, lucky mud.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I felt more like that when I was younger, but as I've gotten older and experienced more grief and loss, I have a harder time believing that energy just ends. It just stops. Based also what we know, my limited knowledge about physics and stuff, that energy doesn't go away.
Yeah, there's only entropy. It transfers,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right. So that's kind of my take on reincarnation. I feel like no one maybe necessarily was a dog before, but like maybe a lot of the energy that makes up who you are now once was in a dog or like a blade of grass, something like that. I am convinced that I was a lobster at some point, but not that I like.
You've seen the movie.
I have seen The Lobster. It's true, but I don't know that I don't know that I connected with that necessarily. But at any rate, like I do think there's something after. But like, yeah, I agree. Like it's absolute folly to have any confidence in what it could be.
Yeah, man. Just be the best person you can be as well as you can see it, and don't be a dick.
Yeah, I figure worst case scenario is not going to be even that bad because unless hell exists, I'll take that back. I guess that's probably the worst case scenario. I don't believe in hell though. I think that the worst case scenario that's likely would be nothing.
You end up here again?
Stuck in the year 2025.
Oh, man. Stuck being a 40-something-year-old man in the year 2025?
Nah,
hey, man, we had Alf.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We had Alf and Garfield. Like,
I'll take existence.
Yeah.
I like being alive. It's good. I'll take it. And if I could come back, a dog would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Depends on who's in charge of me.
Yeah, for sure. I try to be a good dog dad. We got a new one. Have you met him?
You guys? No, I didn't know that.
Ace.
Acey.
Come here, bud. It's Aesop.
Oh, of course.
We call him Ace for short. Come here, bud. Come here. Come on up.
What kind of dog is he? Let's see.
This is our puppy Ace.
Aw, he's a brindle. What is he? What breed
He's
is he?
like 48% pit, and then he is
Lab?
no, Siberian Husky.
Okay, so he's a bunch of things.
He's like 6 dogs in one.
Yeah, because you can't see the husky at all except for in his eyes, maybe.
He's a Samoyed and Rottweiler and like
I can see that.
some other big dog too. I forget.
Well, he's
But
a pretty
fun
boy.
No matter what he is. Oh,
He
boy.
clearly had his DNA tested.
Yeah. You a boy? Yeah, we had to know.
He's giving a big hug. That's cute.
We got him in December, and he is the chillest pup.
That's great. How old is he now?
He is 7 months old now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he seems pretty chill for a puppy.
60 pounds. He's gonna be
Well,
a big guy.
Congratulations to you all on your new pet, your new boy. He's a cutie.
Yeah, look at this little love bug.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming back on the show and talking Dada with me. It's an album that I didn't think that I'd be able to talk about in the show, but if anyone was going to talk about it with me, it had to be you.
All right, I'm glad to bring this album to the table. It's definitely holds a lot of fond memories of driving around in Heartland summer times and stuff, going to lakes and smelling the grass.
Yeah, it's been a good time of year to get back into it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right.
It's always good to get to talk to my buddy Dave. As I've said, he's been in my life for as long as I can remember. And Dada is one of those many things that we have together that is just like a shared experience for us. So it was really cool to get to dig into it with him. But you don't have to know me my whole life to come on the show. I have strangers who become friends on the show all the time. Or if you do know me, you're also welcome on the show. Or if you've been on the show but haven't been on in a while, remember, you can come back. I really actually hate having to pester people and be like, hey, come on the show. If there's people that come on the show repeatedly and you're like, oh, so-and-so's been on the show a bunch, but you haven't asked me to come back, it's because I don't really like to ask people to come back. I like to try and just get people that reach out to me because they're excited to do it. I don't want to have to cajole people into doing it. It's awkward when I have to do that. And no one really likes being asked, hey, will you be in my podcast? Or at least not a lot of people do. But maybe you do. Maybe you, listener, you want to be on my podcast. You could do any album from 1993 or 1994 that I haven't already done on the show. Any album that I haven't already done that isn't Cypress Hill. If you need a suggestion, I don't know, how about Liz Phair's huge 1993 album, Exile in Guyville?
Said
Remember the song Never Said? It's a good damn song. She was really huge for like this album and the next album. Then it just seems like, I don't know, I never hear about her anymore. But she was really big for a minute there. It'd be cool to dig into that album with someone who's a fan. Or again, it could be any album from 1993 or 1994 that I haven't already done. Other things you could do for me, if you want to, if you're so inclined, rate and review the show, please. That would be wonderful. Click follow or subscribe or, whatever is required for the platform that you're listening to me on. That would be very much appreciated. You could check out my other podcasts if you want to. I don't just talk about music all the time. I talk about movies on one of my other podcasts with my friends Mike and Eric, a podcast I've been doing for pushing 6 years now, called the Cinema 9 Podcast. That's the numerical 9, number 9, Cinema 9. And then I have a TV show podcast with my friends Amanda and Steve, where we talk about different seasons of TV, called Small Screen Sessions. That's a TV show podcast. So check that out. Is there anything else that you could do for me? Is there anything I can do for you? I mean, I provide this podcast. I guess that's cool. But I mean, like, if you need me, you can reach out and ask me, hey, Travis, will you help me move? And I'll probably be like, no, but thanks for the email. 9394podcast@gmail.com. Again, that is 9394podcast@gmail.com if you want to reach out to me for whatever reason. I am on Blue Sky. I don't really keep up with social media that much, so if you want to talk to me, email's probably the best way. Okay, I will stop there for today. Thank you, as always, for listening. Take good care of yourself. Take care of each other. '93-'94, a music podcast with Travis Roy, is a labor of love. It is not and never will be monetized. Please don't sue.